Welcome to the Hustle Generation. I'm your host, Kaylee, and today over the phone we have my sweet Mammy joining us, the owner of Pennies from Heaven. Mammy, do you want to tell us a little bit about your business?
Yeah, I'll tell you that I started a little over a year ago creating faith-based and positive jewelry and gifts. I feel like the world needs a little bit more positivity, so that's the reason I started it.
All right. Well, that is super awesome. To get a little bit in, I really want to talk about like your advice to young entrepreneurs, how you overcome challenges, and how you balance your work and life. So to start with a good question, if you could give young people one piece of advice about balancing everything they deal with, what would it be?
Really, write down a schedule. That way you schedule time for school, maybe your part-time job, and then your business. And, of course, include family time and et cetera. So having a schedule, I think, really helps.
Yeah. I think that's the most important thing I've learned from you is writing everything down. I have a school calendar, I have a paper calendar, and then I have my phone calendar. It's because it's all the same in every single one. So then anytime I need it, I just look at it, and it's even color-coded.
Yes.
Yes. What's one mistake you made early on that you would tell young entrepreneurs to avoid?
Well, when I started out, I thought the wider variety of products that I would reach more people. I think that spreaded my business thin, and I was trying to reach all customers instead of just my peak customers for the products that I love.
Yeah, that is super important. You got to find your niche of people, have specific products for them, and you've really brought it down to like your best products. So now that all the things you have are super amazing and it doesn't feel like too overwhelming.
Yes.
Looking back, was there a moment you thought about quitting, and how did you push through that?
Actually, yes. I started out doing a couple craft fairs, and the first one was a disaster completely. It was probably 30 degrees, gusts of wind blowing my tent and all my products over. I didn't sell much, didn't even make my booth money back, and I just thought, I can't do this. And I had already prepaid for a couple more craft fairs, and I just thought that I've got to stay with my commitment and give it another try, and so I did. So always pushing through that negative experience is very important. Just keep on chugging along.
Yeah, super. Don't give up. That's a big thing. You always have to keep going with everything. How do you manage your time between work, family, and other commitments? And what tips do you have for people trying to juggle it all?
Well, when I first started this, I was working. And so when I got home on the evenings and weekends, that's when I was making my jewelry. And I am blessed to have retired early. Mm-hmm. And so now my commitment is basically family time and my business time.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit easier for me now. But I would say even with people that have other jobs and other commitments, again, keeping that schedule, keeping everything balanced, and just keep on chugging along, because it's going to happen to where you find that perfect customer that gives you the oomph to keep going.
For sure. I definitely agree with that. Yeah. And how did starting Pennies from Heaven help you grow as a person, and what have you learned about yourself?
Well, I learned that I've never was a crafty person at all. I never liked to sit down and do crafts. I was never artsy. I could not draw. I was doing good to draw a smiley face. So when this all came about, my father had passed with cancer, and every time I found a penny on the ground, it made me feel good because of the saying, pennies from heaven. So I felt like it was his way of talking to me. And so then I thought, if pennies make me feel so good, I need to find a way to wear them. And so that's how I made my earrings out of pennies. And then other people started seeing me wear them and say, them are adorable. I've never seen them before. And so I started making some for my friends. And then it just went on from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of the most insane, like entrepreneurship journeys, like come out of something so random. Like
Yeah.
you just found that love and everything. All right.
Yeah. You definitely have to have a heart for your business or a heart for your product.
Yes. Or a heart in general. You can't be a mean person and have a have a business.
No, you got to be open to customers' kindness or criticism.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually my next question is how do you deal with criticism? What's a way, like, you don't let things get to you and, not letting things getting to you and ways you grow from that?
Well, you can't let things get to you, especially maybe if it's a disgruntled customer or someone walks up and says, well, looks like I can make that myself. You just have to keep on going and just kind of brush off that. You're going to have that no matter what your product is, that people say that. But with everything, people sometimes they just like to be unkind. And you just have to brush it off to that and keep the positivity. And just know what you're doing is reaching other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So important to stay positive and move through it. I know that's why you started your business, was to be positive and try to make everybody happy and just spread it through the world. And even if your product isn't just positivity based, having your product and being a kind person and selling it with the mission to make this person's day or for them to gift it to somebody else and make them happy. Just the whole idea of selling is just so positive in everything you do.
It is, because when that customer says, I can't wait to give this to my mother or my best friend, then that kindness is running from me to the person who bought it, my customer, to the person that they're gifting it to. So you're reaching a bigger group of people than you can even imagine.
Yeah. Just keeps on going. What do you hope young entrepreneurs take away from your story?
I guess the biggest thing is just keep a schedule, keep it balanced, and just keep going no matter if you get negative responses or whatever. If you have that love for that product, then you need to keep going.
Yeah.
Because no matter how many doors close soon, there'll be one door that opens that will take your business off.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Well, thank you, Mammy, for joining us. I hope everybody takes some important lessons from this episode. We will see you next time.